Hey Saints, welcome to HCC Podcast Home. My name is Gadgelina, and this is
Emmanuel.
and we are the Fevnots, where we are rooted in love and growing in faith.
Welcome aboard, everybody. So today is really like a pleasure to be with you guys, So we're about to talk, have fun, and let you know what, we're doing and why we're doing it and where we're going with that.
So first and foremost, we call the podcast HCC. Can you tell the people a little bit about HCC?
Yeah, ACC is a platform we started, I think, almost two years ago. ACC stands for Asian Churches Connect. The idea is we see what's going on in culture or Christian stuff like that. So we see how can we put ourselves together and make sure we helping to see how can everybody can connect. Yeah, to see once, so I don't have to be in your church to know what you're going through. I don't have to be Catholic or Jehovah Witness to know what going on with you when in your life, stuff like that. But if we say we are Christians or we follow God, so we can be one and fight to be a Christian, and we serve
One God.
one God. So let's make it happen. So that's all it's all about, So make sure we be one.
And from a married couple's point of view, we would just like to do things from our point of view, right? So everyone has a view. We're not professionals in certain aspects, but what we know is through our journey, through our experiences, through our studies. And we would just like to share that with you and like to connect with other people who are doing the same.
Definitely. So we're going, so let you know exactly what we do, and we from there. So we start and catch up with you. So hope you like it and love what we're doing and be part of that experience with us and become one family.
One family. So we did go through we talked about our experiences and things that in our journeys. I'd like to start off just so the people get an understanding of who Emmanuel is, right?
Definitely.
So what can you share with the people as to how did you find Christ?
For me, it was, I can't say easy, but I wasn't born in church. In Haiti. I born in Haiti, so and my family wasn't, so like Christian stuff like that. So I think I was 10 or 11 years old. So when I started going to church, and it was a good experience. That the time I was in the church, so I was happy, a young boy, going to church, and that's where I start knowing, who God was exactly.
Yeah.
But I start follow one of the deacons at the church because what he was exactly is like somebody who knows everything. It's like the songs, the way he's preach, So if you have something you want from you, you have certain ways to get it from you. So it was like somebody who will sit down with God almost every time. He was. So I want to be like him, I was just say, okay, if I can be like him, so I can, follow God the same way. So I was trying to understand him the way, to be just like him. I was copying him. It's like, I don't say fellowship or something like that, but I was, yeah, with him, try to be, I want to be him. But knowing that, it was like when you wasn't born in church, they got certain stuff you don't know, or my mom, or I didn't have like a father who teach me or something like that. Big brother was gonna teach me how to be and Christ, stuff like that. So knowing him, and I'm start doing his thing, so become the president of a young group at that church.
Oh, you were president of the youth too?
The church, the group, we just group. So it's like I said, I wasn't knowing a lot of stuff, so I be the president of the youth yet. But the group we built, I think it was 12 young men, Yeah, it was called like and 12 disciples. So that's the name of the group. So it was really fun. Like I said, we was
How old were you back then?
I think it was 11, 12 years old. So
at that age, you guys built a group at 11, 12 years old?
yes, all the young men was that the age, 11, 12, 13 years old. So it was fun. It really was fun, and I liked it. until, like I said, the Dickens, and I just follow him, and I saw something. And that day, his question, he's put me down as a young boy who tried to be a Christian, because the guy selling stuff, like when you start reading, stop to doing, because I remember I was so passionate and what I'm doing, they start calling me pastor at that age, because I'm reading the way I dress, the way, I'm acting at school, whatever. So they call me, pastor, little pastor. Yes. So
Petit pasteur.
Petit pasteur and Yushenko, so when I start reading, I understand certain stuff. So stuff you can do or you cannot do. So, and I saw he was doing certain
things
stuff
that were against what
against.
you do.
So I start, pulling out, and I say, you know what? I let it go out of the church. That was hurt a lot, because love I was giving him is like, say, okay, how can it be possible somebody like that be,
Right.
church? Because like I said,
We see a lot about that. I mean, as a young person, it kind of does throw you off. But as you get older, you see things like that all the time, and that's when we learn that everyone will fall short of the glory. But as a young man who, I guess you put him on a pedestal.
definitely.
You put him on a pedestal, and that's what we have to learn as Christians, is not to do. Yes, we can follow something that someone is doing because it looks good, and it seems like that's how God wants us to live. But when that person falls short, that's when we show grace.
Definitely.
But as a young boy, that's not something that you would know to do.
No, it's right now. I understand, like on John 14 verse 6, when Jesus said, if you want to come to my Father, so you have to follow me. So he don't tell you to follow your pastor or your father or nobody else. It's him. So if you follow him, that's where you're gonna get to the Father. So now I understand that. So I don't have to be somebody.
Jesus, you get to the
Father. Right. So to follow my pastor. So I can respect my pastor and understand what he's doing, because he's the leader. But I cannot focus on him and or deacons because the deacons is doing something great or something. No, I'm not doing that no more. So I'm not a follower.
You're your own follower.
Yeah, address all the stuff, so I understand it now. So only people I have to follow is Jesus Christ.
So that happened, and I mean, you're still here now, so you had to have come back to the church, right?
Yes, going back to the church was I can say it was easy, and it wasn't that easy, because the time I left the church, I lost everything I used to know. I didn't forget them, but I lost. So I become a young man. I'm supposed to be, at school, getting to know friends. Thank God I never drank, I never smoked, but I was doing other stuff, so I was good with
that part.
With the female part.
But you did have a hard part somewhere. There was a struggle somewhere.
Yeah, that was my struggle. So,
we all have struggles.
Yeah, that was what I was doing, and to still on that the same way, I think God got me back.
Yeah, he used it.
Yeah, he saw definitely he saw what I was good in and what I was love doing. So I remember we moved from I was at Port-au-Prince, and we moved from Delmar 32 to Delmar the 3rd. So when I moved there, so because coming home with one day females, next week for another one, yeah, another young boy was there, so he saw that, but he was at church. So he come to me and say, "Hey man, I see you, it's like doing your things. I need your help." I say, "What's going on, man? How can I help you?" He tell me the story. He said, "Man, I got two girls at my church. Got one I liked. She's always with her friend. So I need you to help me, talking to the other one, so I can have time to talk to the girl he likes." So I say, "No problem, man. Just show it to me." So one day, I saw them. So I saw her. I said, "Okay, yeah, she pretty. So okay, let's do that." And I remember I went to the church that day. The next day they have something going on in the church. So I went there and I saw it. And that's why I still remember what the pastor was talking about. And when he was saying, when God needs you or wants you, he gonna get you no matter what. Don't make him get you on your bed or like a chair, something like that.
So your deathbed or wheelchair.
Wheelchair, something like that. That day when I got home, only thing I was thinking about, man, I become scared because I said, man, okay, that's gonna happen. But that's keep popping every time,
Right.
keep popping every time. But the thing is with that, the girl I supposed to, be with, and one of my little brothers so has a friend who like that girl. My brother called me and say, hey, you know what? Don't go talk to that girl because one of my friends like her already. So hey, that was the code when we was leaving.
Boy, the men
Don't-
code.
Yeah, the main code. Don't go there. If somebody already eating there, don't eat there. So,
Right.
yeah, so I let that. But one time, man, I was sitting, and I remember my friend. He said, "Man, can we go to the church today?" I said, "Yeah, I'm not doing nothing." Went in that time, never going. I never like. I remember from the day right now. So I just inside I want to cry, but it's like I'm looking. Say, no, man, men don't cry. No, try to be tough.
How old were you then?
Maybe like 16, 17.
Okay.
Yeah, so 17, maybe, yeah. I think 16 or 17.
So at that time, you went back and you never.
Yeah, I was in church.
That's
Now every Sunday
And
I'm become, back.
Tuesday, Friday,
Yeah, it was 3 times at the church.
3 times a week.
Yeah, 2 times a week. Monday, I think we have Friday service. Take Tuesday service too. So 2 times, I become.
You remember how that used to be? Tuesday service, you have prayer, Friday Bible study, Sunday church.
Yes, definitely. So
Saturday rehearsal.
I ain't do reversal yet because I ain't part of the everything yet. But it was a good time.
Yeah.
I become to know more about the church, about the guy that I want to serve.
Mhm.
So there was teaching,
Mhm.
So Par la foi, that's the name of the church. Par la foi.
Big ups.
Yes, par la foi de Matthieu 32, non 33. So man, that church, I think I say save my life, and it helped me knowing what God is today.
It's awesome.
And a lot of stuff I know is the church.
That was that foundation.
Yes.
That was the foundation.
Yeah.
You always have to go back to the foundation. I know there was another time in your life as well where you got lost a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that yet, though.
No.
I know
want to
that.
hear about you.
Well, you're going to hear about me. But one thing I wanted to say is when we talk about going back to the foundation, sometimes we have to go back there in order for us to stand up again.
Mhm.
It's not that we won't fall again, because there's so many people out here who will disappoint us, who will absolutely crush us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I remember T.D. Jakes had a book called The Crushing. Reading that book, it talks about how that God has to squeeze you and crush you just to renew you again. So going back to your foundation, that's where you can stand up again and stand up strong so you can push forward.
Definitely.
So just wanted to always remember where it started.
Never.
Sometimes you got to go back just to go forward. So that's okay. But for me, Christianity, you talked about your family not being in church. My mom was actually Catholic. We didn't grow up with our dad. He was around, but we didn't grow up with him. I mean, he was Protestant. But my mom was Catholic, and we were going to Catholic church out in Brooklyn, New York, on Eastern Parkway, St. Matthews. And I think at the age of 13, I made a decision that I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it. But I think it was because we went to separate churches, right? We weren't together. My mom went to the French portion, and I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but my background is still Haitian. Both parents are Haitian, but I grew up born and raised in Brooklyn. And we went to the English service. I don't know. I think I just had the leeway. I had the opportunity to say that I wasn't going anymore. Because out in Brooklyn, you have all types of transportation. You're open to so many different things that you can make the decision not to go anymore. So at 13, I said I was no longer going. She thought we were going, but I was in front of the church eating ice cream, right? So thank you to Eastern Parkway for having those benches out there. After that, I don't even know when I like completely stopped, but of course it eventually stopped. And then by the age of 23, I moved out of my mom's house. We moved out to Canarsie, and that's when I found the church CCC with Pastor Bernard out in Brooklyn and Canarsie. And I did love going to the church. It was more of like a mega church, and everybody seemed to, I think what drew me close to the church was the praise, because I love to praise. I
Okay.
love
Singing,
love to
dancing.
sing, absolutely. And it was just that captured me. And then when Pastor Bernard came out to start preaching, and you listen to the words that he's saying, and it's I don't know, it was cultivating. It just drawed you to the church. And I made sure I went every Sunday, whether I'm catching a bus or not. Like, we made sure that we went. I drew my sisters down there as well. Everybody started going until I moved to Florida. And I would say that TCC is my foundation, but I cannot say that, because I was just going. Like, I was just going to receive the word and to receive the praise, and I went home. Right? There was no fellowship, there was no family, there was nothing there for
Just
me.
go for something.
Right. It was, yeah, I just went and then I left. But when I moved to Florida at the age of 25, I came encounter with a church, a Haitian church, which I was not used to. I came encounter with a Haitian church where I finally learned how to speak the Haitian Creole language. The Shadespigans was what they always, it was the hymn book, which was in Haitian Creole.
So you
French.
learn how to speak Creole at the church.
I learned how to speak. I mean, I always heard, speaking to my mom always spoke Creole, but I've never reciprocated. I've never spoke Creole back to her. It was always back in English. But because of that church, because of the people there, because of the fellowship, because of the family orientedness, it was just, if that's even a word, orientedness.
Just create your
I'm
own.
creating my own words. But because of that, I was able to find my foundation of Christ. I learned how to pray. I've learned how to raise my voice for God. I've always knew how to do that, but never did I connect completely with the words. So it was not just that I was singing, because a lot of we sing all the time, like it's just words. But the point where you're feeling the words that you're saying, completely different, completely different. So I would find that, and if I could just say the name of the church, which was First Haitian Baptist Church of Kissimmee. Pastor Lubin, and this is where I met this guy. So I did some years there, and I just loved it. But there was a point in time where we did have to separate from the church, and I think that's where our story actually began. But yeah. Thank you to, I mean, the church now is Pastor Bois, who's at that church right now.
So knowing growing up like the way you were do that changing, how it was for you? Was like an easy step to maneuver all this together to be you where you are right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because now I have the best of the both. I have best of the both worlds. I have the Haitian background and I have the American background, the English background. And putting them both together, I'm able to give back to our Haitian church, where we have our young youth who are coming up, who may not speak the Creole language, but they attend Haitian churches.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important that we do have those kinds of people who are there, who understand the Haitian culture, but also understand the American culture as well, because we do have our youth that's growing up there. And it helped me for my children.
Listening, because my part, like when I was growing up in Haiti, for me, the change to be a young man doing wasn't knowing God, try to follow and become a Christian. So now knowing God and now serving God at that time, it was something like I can say amazing a certain part, but it was a challenging because when you see like all the young people like you doing other stuff, so I said, man, why can't I be that part? It's like
What others?
yeah, they want to go out the clubs and all of the kind
Oh.
of stuff. Like I said, I wasn't born in church, so my brothers, was out there. They are friends because one thing maybe I ain't tell you guys, born to big families, like 15 kids, going with 10 brothers. When my mom left us, in Haiti, we was like 12 living at the house. It was like 11 boys. So when you got 11 boys living that time, it was like, whoo,
Yeah,
it was,
frat house.
yes, it was like a challenge for us, you know. It's like I said,
That's definitely a
yeah,
challenge.
me becoming listen like I remember it's like me and my little brothers got two of them. I try to every time going to church with them stuff like that. So it was really close. Big shout out with Warner and Charles. So I take them to church because it become a challenge for me to accept that part. Say I'm gonna be a Christian. I'm gonna be a Christian no matter what. But how to take them to make them become like me. So not like me to go to church like with me.
To
So
follow Christ.
yeah,
You
so
become their own
that part it was challenging. So did you feel the same way? Like that time to be young and try to connect with God. That was not
I lived all those crazy times in my life. I wasn't in church when I was doing all the crazy stuff. I was not in church when I was doing all the crazy stuff. My crazy stuff was around 18, 19, 20. I was still living at home. Me and my cousin, we used to do the club hopping and all of that stuff. You don't know any better, especially when you don't. I didn't have the understanding of who Christ was. I was just living my life. I don't even think I graduated from high school, and that was it was all about the club scene. Just was having fun. I wasn't doing anything crazy out there, but we were definitely club hopping. We were definitely club hopping, and you would think you would stop with all the crazy stuff that used to happen, people shooting and the craziness. And I was just like you. I didn't smoke or drink, so I was one of the people who used to tell on people who were smoking and drinking. I would run to the security guard like they're smoking over there because I couldn't take the smell of it. But when I got into Christianity, I don't think I had time for it because I was always mature as a young person. Like I wanted to get out of high school so bad. Like I went to night school. I did all of that just so I wouldn't have to be around other teenagers. Yeah, I wanted out. I wanted to go to work. I wanted to pay my own bills, which is why I left my mom's house at 23. And I was living out in Canarsie, working and paying my bills. There was no such thing as clubbing anymore. I think something really bad happened at one of the clubs, and that's when I drew a cross in the sand. Was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore.
Me, my clubbing was the church, and I can't say when I say the church.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I was no. I remember I went to a club when I came to America. That's when I start. I went. I can't count. I went to club 5 times in my life. So it was the first one. It was because I was dating a girl, so it was her birthday. She want to go to the club. And before I think Karimi, the a group in Nation was the book before that happened, so she wanna see them, so we went there for a birthday. I love concert. I love going. I was perform church.
Yeah.
Doing poetry, sketch. Dancing stuff like that. That was me. I think that's the beauty of what make me I think from the age I started going to church. I think even the deacons I was follow, I can say he takes something from me, but he give me something back. He changed me, but that God worked with him to change my life at that age.
Yeah.
As 11 years old, to tell me, hey, this certain stuff is not for you. So it's like it was prepare me for the next step. Even I left the church, but I still feel like somebody was with me. There are certain stuff even I tried to do. I remember I tried to drink, but I can't. If I step, like one beer, I'm out. So I was try to be a teenager like everybody else,
Right.
So hey, my friend doing this, but this helping me to not follow nobody because when the Dickens was and I was follow, I tell myself, I will never, never my life follow nobody else.
Yeah.
So that's make me not become a follower. So when I left the church, even with friends, they follow me. I'm not following. And then so you drink, that's your business. I'm not following. So whatever you're doing, that's you. But I'm not doing what you're doing. So I become understand that part early age, and that's make me okay. No follow. I don't say it's like if you're doing something good, I'm not gonna do it. But the thing you have to do, you have to be really good to me to be part of what you're doing.
Right. Not follow what you do and be a part.
Be part of it.
Big difference.
Yes. Not the followers. I think that helping me. I always see good thing and bad thing together. This cup might be have hot water in it or hot coffee. I can choose to drink it hot or wait for it to be cool. So which one I was doing? I'm learning to like if I drink the coffee hot, I am by my mouth. I have to wait. I become to be a more patient
Patience.
with God and doing his work. I think that's the beauty of part of the the work with God. Be
Amen.
patient and follow his steps, and you'll be good. I think.
You decided to follow Jesus.
Yeah.
I think that you stated a great point there. I think a lot of our leaders and even our Christians out, who may not be leaders, but at the same time, God calls you to be a leader. He
Yeah.
doesn't. He doesn't call you to be a follower of man.
Nobody.
You're a follower of Christ.
Yep.
So, like my mom always says, like when you're going through something or somebody's telling you something, it's not everything you take and put it in your pocket. You take what you want and put it in the pocket. The rest of it, you're going to leave it right where it's at. Right? I think it's very important that we choose to create our own path because we all don't have the same path. So you following someone else, that may lead you to destruction because that's not where God has led you. That's not where he called you to go. He called you to follow his word, and that's why it's very important. Read your Bible, people. Read your Bible.
And the good part about like when you start doing this, even people around you gonna help you
Yeah.
to go what you are, what
Yeah.
you want to be or want to be. I remember the same time when I left the church, the time anytime they saw me somewhere, I say, "Hey, Batibas there." It's like that.
They're calling you out.
Yes, they call me out. It's like, no, you cannot do that. It's like
Yeah.
it's like who I am.
Yeah.
So anytime it's like even my families like and my mother,
Yeah.
my brothers, they always call me out. Hey, man,
You're not supposed
yo,
to be.
you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Or you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. That's even at school. So when I was at school,
It doesn't make you feel like an outcast, though.
yeah, it's
right?
like, yo, man, come on. It's like,
I want to be with y'all.
yeah,
your
but they don't
brothers.
even still right now. They got certain ways like my brothers. They're not gonna invite me because they know it's like, yo, this dude is not gonna go. Or
It's not
his
your
friend,
place.
if they doing something or they like something happening, they're not even gonna Sebastian, even their friends like they like that name. Sometimes I feel like, man, I was I was an outsider,
was an
my
outcast.
own house.
Yeah, you're an outcast. Black sheep.
Yeah, so oh my God.
But at
Yeah.
the same time, that's the path that he had for you.
Like
And you learn from,
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you have to learn. It may take a while for you to understand that because
Oh,
you want to
yeah.
be a part of the crowd. Even though you're a leader, you still want to be part of the crowd. You want to be invited places. You want to do the things that your friends and your family
Yeah.
is doing, but it's not everything that they're doing that you can do. So a lot of times I find that, like you and I, it's like we're set aside. We're set aside, not able to do the things that people are doing. We can watch it, right? But your place isn't there. You need to be somewhere else. And one thing I was thinking about, even with your 5 fingers, like your hand is here, but each one of your fingers are going a different direction. They're here to help each other, yes, but at the same time, they have to lead themselves. They have to lead themselves. They have their own journey, right? So we just have to understand that together we can make it together, but you still have to lead yourself. And by leading yourself, I mean following Christ.
Let me tell you a story. And that story I think changed me. That's why I'm fighting right now. Like drink, you can't if you can mouse, we got a bar, that stuff like that. So
it's here forever.
yes, forever. Yeah. But the thing is, I remember a friend of my mom's side, my mom was working in a restaurant. It was for my family, my sister, So I used to go there. So we was close there. So you got 2 men at the restaurant. They always drink after work, drinking and stuff like that. So I think one day they set me up. I didn't know nothing about it, but because my mom was always talk good about me. So when he was talking about like all my brothers, but me was like, don't do that. Emmanuel, don't do this. Emmanuel, don't do that. So they hear what my mom saying. They say, okay, we're gonna try him out. So what they did, they buy like a beer, stuff like that. And when I come, they, say, come hang out with us, man. We're gonna drink, stuff like that, food, stuff like that. So they send me to, so I will get it for them. So, because they're older than me. So I listen to people.
Yeah.
And when I give it to them, and I say, you didn't take nothing from you. I say, take what? I say, go get a drink. So I went over there. They have, take something Corona. They was drinking. There was something else. I forget the name of it. So I think one of them, but it wasn't alcohol. So they say, man, you want man, go drink go get a beer. I say, I don't drink a beer, man. They say, no, man, you have to. You have to.
Okay.
If you want to hang out with us, you have to. I say, okay. So I left. I go home. The next day, when my mom come, my mom said, what happened to your others? I say, what happened? She said the man was telling so good about you or how good you are. I say, what? And I went back to the so I say, hey, watch out, stays with my mom. And they was telling me what happened. I say, hey, your mom always talk good about you. Say, hey, you good man, you did this, you don't drink, you don't do this, you don't do that. So we will try to set you up to see if what she said was good. So they have the cameras, everything were waiting for me, just for me to get,
They were testing you.
testing me. And since then, man, they I earned the respects,
Yeah.
So they say, man, this dude is really a good dude. I said, man, I don't follow nobody. No matter age you are, no matter who you are, man, I don't do this thing. Church. So remember?
Which met? Because we met twice.
I remember the first time I met her, right? I just come
The
from,
way he tells it.
yeah, from Haiti. Some sexiness, and she come to me and, say hi. And by the time I even say hi to her, like, she was shy and she went away.
I didn't run away.
Yeah.
We were walking down an aisle and you were passing, and like a good Christian girl, I passed you and I said hello. But I wasn't trying to hold a conversation with you.
Yeah.
So maybe by the time
That's what she said.
the time it took you to say hello, I was already gone. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
even so, we ended up, the way we actually got together was we had ventured out, the youth of First Haitian Baptist Church of Kissimmee. We had separated from the church and we started our own church with a separate pastor, and we started actually taking the responsibilities as leaders
Yeah,
in the church with the youth. And it was we started out Grace and Peace.
yeah.
Grace and Peace out in Kissimmee. And because we were working together, doing Sunday school together, we were teachers, we were leaders, we were youth leaders.
The secretary.
I was everything.
I was the assistant.
Yeah. You were assisting me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was assisting me.
I was.
As you can see, he assisted me.
Yeah.
So
I was drums player. I was.
we were everything.
Man, yeah,
we were
it's like-
everything. We were everything. Because we were the older ones in.
No, I wasn't older ones. You was the older one.
What did
With
you
your
say?
friends.
Oh my gosh.
But the with all the knowledge I think we had,
with the
as,
experiences, our passion, we yearned to learn the Word of God and to teach it
so
as well.
The kids was follow us,
Well, they didn't follow us; they followed Christ.
When I say
we
follow
were-
us, not that time, because there was belief on like what was doing, and
They wanted to be a part of it.
to be a church,
Mhm.
But she keep calling me every day. Sometimes I said, man, the girl can't let me in.
Because you have ideas that come out of nowhere and you want to share it before you forget.
No, I
So
don't forget nothing. I was the creativity.
You were the creator.
Yes.
Yeah, you were very
Anything
creative.
She got something. Can we do something? She had to call me. So
course.
okay, you call me to do something. You ain't had nothing. She had to call me to create something. So and I remember that's all she was doing. And the phone. She need to cry. She called me. She need to laugh. She called me.
Well, I didn't have any other friends.
Yeah, so
buddy.
everything she need to do, she had to call me. I said, man, okay, I wasn't, okay with that, so I was working that time at Disney World,
You were flattered.
Yeah, it was cool.
You were flattered.
No, like I said,
You were a good listener.
I was a leader.
You were a good listener,
Yeah.
and I found that quality very.
I am.
Yeah, I love that quality.
Yeah. Anybody wanted to talk? I'm the guy.
Well,
So
either
I
way,
was listening,
that's
and
how
I'm
it
gonna
is.
give you advice and good advice. So I was there for her when she needed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, she know what she want, but I didn't know.
I
Yes,
I
yes,
was not
yes,
after you.
yes, you will.
Either way, our relationship started when there was supposed to be a group outing.
No,
Yeah,
you,
there was supposed to
you.
be.
That
Let me
was a
tell the
setup.
story. Let me
No,
tell the
okay,
story.
good, good.
So there was supposed to be a group outing, and we were taking the youth out to go to a
No.
movie, and none of the youth showed up.
No.
None of the youth showed up, so it was only
It's a
you and
lie.
I.
She called me. She said, "What do you think if we take the youth out?" I said, "Hey, no problem." I think at that time I just come from work. I said, "I'm gonna go sleep and let me know what time." So when I wake up, I think it was like around like 4, 5, something like that. So when I woke up, I saw the text. And I said, "Yes, everything's set up."
He jumped and said yes.
Yes, I said, "Okay, I'll see you," and go take a shower and go to the movie. I had to drive like maybe like 30 to 40 minutes to that movie.
Yeah.
So
Wait.
with the youth,
With
supposed
a
to be,
youth.
supposed to be something for the youth. Let me do the quote for the youth. I went. I ain't seen nobody, only her. I said, "Where's the youth at?"
They
Nobody,
didn't show up.
nobody answered. Guess what?
So we ended up going
No,
to see a movie
no,
anyway.
I'm not done yet. Was the youth surely drive them? So she the one. So how you gonna want to go pick somebody up? They ain't show up.
They
You know?
weren't available. They
Okay.
were not available.
That's the story.
Yeah.
So I say, okay. I remember like when I got there, I said, man, I said, my God, something happening. Still today, I still don't know what movie we were watching.
I don't remember either.
Because on my mind was messed up. Because I keep telling myself, why she here with me? Because all the movie, like we went inside, start a movie, I pay, try to be, cool dude. And then in the movie, I would see, it's just like my brain keep, she not there for the movie, she gonna for you. So
Whatever.
that was everything I was thinking about.
Anyhow, that is how it all started.
After the movie, so we went out and so walking, stuff like that. So when about to leave, I tried to hug her, right? Give her a hug, hey, bye. She tried to kiss me and my mouth, but I changed it. So I say, so when I'm driving home, I didn't know when I got home because I said she's something not cool. You know what what she want.
Look, Saints.
That's where I find out she was, everything I was doing. I think I was doing because a young man love doing work with God, and I bet she was that person too.
Yeah, yeah.
She was.
Anyhow, I was not looking for a relationship. It just ended up that way. We
Yeah.
were connected, and we wanted what we wanted, and now we are here today. And now we were here today with 4 children. 4 children later.
Nice swap.
Right. Stop.
Yeah.
So 4 children later. So that is definitely our story, you guys. I hope you enjoyed hearing about our background. I hope you enjoyed hearing about our journey. Our journey is still going. Definitely. We're still growing. We're still learning the Word of God, continually learning the Word of God and trying to imply it.
Oh yeah.
We're trying to absolutely apply it to our lives, and to our children's lives, to the lives of the youth in our church, to the lives of everyone around us. That's what we want.
I think we we don't tell everything we need to tell today. So you're gonna learn more about us and where we wanna go with this podcast. Yes. We want your part. You want to be with us. Because,
let's go on a journey.
We start together, at 2, but I know you come us, we're gonna be like a big family together, everything we're doing. Our life, when you see us, you see Christ. So that's where we're going, and everything we're gonna try to do is working for God. We take pleasure of that and doing that. So everything we do is that, working is God work. So let's get together and make it happen because that green white hair is working, so yes, we got a lot of a good thing coming up, a lot of good thing we want to do for people, for God, stuff like that. So we want you to be part of it, and we're ready for you. So we got part, so like you see, everything is ready. You're just waiting for you right now to be
Part of the family.
yeah, family. So subscribe of every channel we had, and so SCC podcasting, SCC, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter. Follow us to know more about where we're going and what we're doing. What we're doing gonna be good and great for God, because
Absolutely.
the mission is to put ourselves together, once.
Absolutely. Well, we are the Thevnots. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking it out with us, listening to our crazy stories. Until next time, we are the Thevnots. We are rooted in love and growing in faith. Farewell for now.
Forget. You gotta win all the time. And you're good.
I like that. Don't forget, love wins all the time. 857.